Alright guys, this video is going to be all on how to launch paid ad campaigns on Meta to generate leads and get coaching / consulting and agency clients. And this is going to be an actual crash course on how to profitably set up campaigns and start booking appointments in under 24 hours time by selecting profitable audiences, interests, and objectives. So guys, if you're watching this video, of course, you're interested in running ads, and chances are that you either don't know anything, in which case the video is going to absolutely help you out, or you might know a little bit, but you are not quite getting the results that you're looking for, okay? So this video is going to walk you through everything. I'm actually going to divide this into two parts. The first one is going to be all on understanding the Meta Ads Manager, like the actual hierarchy. We're also going to talk about profitable ads that you can run so that you can get the highest ROAS you can get in under 24 hours. And last thing, I'm actually going to go over my actual ads manager to walk you through everything, okay? Right now, I'm not running any ads since I've been working just in the backend product and fulfillment for clients. But realistically speaking, this process that I'm about to show you is going to be the first and possibly even the last video you're going to need when it comes to understanding paid ads, okay? So the first thing that I want to do, guys, is explain in a really deep fashion the hierarchy of the Meta Ads Manager. And of course, we can get into the super nitty-gritty details, but realistically, for most of you guys, it's not really needed to go into everything. The first thing that you guys need to understand is that in order to run ads on Meta, you need for a Meta business account. In the past, it was used to call the Facebook Business Manager, but what it looks like is something like this. Assuming that you're in the Meta Ads Manager, what you're going to do is come to this All Tools tab in here, and once you'll see the All Tools tab in here, you're going to go to the Ads Manager, okay? Now that you see this Ads Manager that you're looking at right now, what you're going to be able to do is essentially create campaigns, ad sets, and ads. Okay, so let's go one by one so that you can see how it looks like. At a campaign level, what you're going to do is decide the objective of your campaign. So this video is not meant to go super deep into the actual strategy that I recommend you guys do, because of course, if you're running Facebook group funnels, you're going to use a certain strategy. If you're using BSL funnels, you might want to install the Meta Pixel so you can track the conversions. If you're running DM ads, like I recommend you guys do as beginners, what you're going to do essentially is run either messenger ads or engagement ads, where you're going to do, for example, on Instagram, the distribution of foundational sales letters, etc. Okay? Realistically, again, this is not a strategy video. This is just for you to understand the basics. So at a campaign level, this is where you decide the objective. Then inside of your campaigns, you have the different ad sets. And the different ad sets, what they do is that you can decide the interests or the targeting that you're going to have with Meta. And at the end, you have your actual ads, okay? And your actual ads is essentially where you are going to host your creative, your copywriting, and your message. Okay, so without having to go into so much of the meat and potatoes of the video, you already know that at a campaign level, you have high-level objective. Then you have the ad sets that have different interests. What I recommend you guys do is that you always have just one campaign, and then anywhere from 2, 3, or all the way to 10 ad sets in case you need to, okay? And then you can just duplicate inside of every ad set the different ad sets you can run, okay? The way we do for clients is actually we set up, inside of a growth space, we have a marketing folder where we have both organic content and then the ad campaigns where they can just manage everything that they're working on in an easy to track fashion, so that they can see like the different ads that they're running, the creatives, then on the copywriting, etc. Okay, so that's again for another video. If you want to get access to this document that I'm showing you, by the way, you can just join my free Facebook group, or if you don't use Facebook that much, make sure to follow me on Instagram and DM me the word access, and I'll send this document plus all of the documents your way, okay? Now, if you're being one of my followers, or if you simply want help from us managing / co-managing your campaigns and literally copy-pasting our scaling protocols inside of your business, go ahead and book a call, in which case, to see if you're a good fit. And make sure to watch the video at 2x speed, that way you can just save some time and launch the campaigns even faster after learning this information. Now that we understand the hierarchy of the ads manager, because this is just like a prerequisite to actually run the actual ads, I want to teach you how to think ad creation, okay? And like I mentioned, I'm going to take the example of the foundational sales letter distribution, or DM ads, that I typically do for myself and also for clients, since it's just like the easier to track, the most bang for your buck, and one of the most beginner entry level, so that you can run ads really, really fast. So when it comes to ad creation process for DM ads, guys, this is meant to be as simple as possible. What you want to do is pick the curiosity of your ideal customers through the leverage of your unique mechanism and the insights that you generated in your market research process, okay? Because remember, what you're going to do and what we want to do with foundational sales letter ads or DM ads is we want to run ads that leverage words to do the selling for us and pick curiosity. That's literally all we need. Because with the beauty and the reason why these ads are typically the best ones you can run if you're selling any sort of high-ticket service is because you are not creating a video ad that is sending people to a landing page and then having an opt-in and then the BSL page and then having to use the call funnel and calling up the opt-ins. You're not doing any of that, and you're also not having to do a super quick thing. You can just literally do a screenshot of a tweet that has words, I mean, of course. And then what you're going to do with your ads is let the words do the selling, okay? And the selling is not like getting the client, it's just getting people to engage in your ad. And now you have a conversation going where you can then book a call. All you will need is something like that. And of course, an actual foundational sales letter that you can use for distribution, okay? So an example would be this one. We have lots of videos on how to create foundational sales letters, so on and so forth. But again, yeah, this is all you would need so that you can actually give them the thing that they are asking for. If you don't have this, you can also use a micro VSL, a YouTube video, or some sort of lead magnet. But again, I'm just trying to let you guys know how the process typically works. And what you're going to do is, depending of course on the strategy that you're running, decide the actual objective. I'm going to use the example of the DM ads that we typically use for our auto-converting funnel. I can leave videos down below in case that you're interested in watching them. What you're going to do is essentially come to the engagement objective. And the reason why we want to have engagement as the actual objective is because Meta is very good when you're actually paying Meta to do something, not just when you're relying on organic traffic because it sucks on organic. The reality is that Meta is very good at deciding who to show your ads to depending on the objective. And if your objective is engagement, what is going to happen is that you're going to be shown to people who are most likely to engage, aka comment on your ad or raise their hand so that you can have a conversation going on. And that's why we actually want to use engagement objective, okay? If you're using leads, that's great. If you're running like a BSL type of funnel or a group funnel where Meta is going to show people who are most likely to end up booking calls with you. For this example, I'm just going to use engagement. Over here, you're going to keep up I always like to set up the advantage campaign budget so that it allocates your budget across the winning ad sets inside of your campaign, okay? So now that you have your campaign, what you're going to have is your ads. You can always decide the type of ads that you can run. Again, it will have more to do with your strategy. I always recommend, if you have a big audience, to run retargeting ads instead of just going for cold ads, or you have a big email list or phone numbers, you can just do something like lookalike audiences and then just run out of those ads because those are always the most profitable. But I'm just going to assume that you don't have anything of that, and I'm just going to do a cold audience. Again, like I was saying, social media platforms, when you pay them, are great at deciding who to show your ads to depending what your goal is. Okay, so if you're selling a high ticket service, what you're looking for is engagement. And if you're doing some sort of DM ads, like I'm recommending, if you're looking for some sort of funnel where people end up booking calls themselves, like a BSL funnel, again, leads. Also, like I was saying, always name your campaign something like IG DM ads or Twitter DM ads so that you know which ad is working the best, because this is strategy, and this is another reason why I love to use DM ads, is because the foundational sales letter that you wrote and that we teach our clients how to build so that they convert our prospects can work on any platform, as long as you can just send that via engagement to any lead, okay? Awareness, traffic, and engagement can work in the audience building ads, but for now we'll just focus on generating ads that request for our foundational sales letter. Aside from the campaign objective, at the campaign level, you also want to decide the daily budget. Don't use the monthly cut. Make sure to use a daily budget spending limit. If you're good at sales already, you leverage your foundational sales letter in your organic validation phase through outbound prospecting, and it works phenomenally well. I would just go straight up into $50 per day with this type of ads, okay? So what you're going to do is set up your daily budget, and then when you're selecting the targeting criteria at an ad level, remember to add the name of your interest, depending if you're using interest to decide the targeting options, okay? So once you're done with the campaign, at the ad set level is where you'll go deeper into the targeting criteria and the instructions you'll give Meta to know who to show your ads to, okay? And again, always name your ad set with the interest that you will use for targeting, because if you're using $50 per day, you will use probably 2 to 3 different interests, aka 2 to 3 different ad sets inside of the same campaign. That way you'll know which interest is working better for you at any given time. So if you're having $50 at a campaign level for budget, you can create, for example, over here, maybe you can have an ad set that is, I don't know, social media management interest, and another one that is content marketing interest, for example, right? Depending on who your ideal band is. Next, once you have your ad set that are set up the right way, make sure to simply add the messenger conversion location so that you can see your cost per lead, which will allow for better tracking. Once you're done with that, we'll go into deciding the audience, which is the fun part. So essentially, now that you have over here, like we mentioned before, engagement objective, you have your ad set, your budget and everything. You're going to decide over here where you want to drive engagement. It's going to be messaging. So what you're going to see is click to message. You're going to decide where you want this to happen. You can decide on Facebook and Instagram, or just Instagram or just Facebook, whatever you prefer. I like to use Instagram. Then you're going to maximize the number of conversations. Then you're going to go to the audience. That is what we were talking about. So what you're going to do is, first of all, decide the location. I already have it set up to Australia, Canada, United Kingdom, New Zealand, and United States. Ages, genders, And here is where you have the detailed targeting. I like to use, for example, for coaches, I like to use Russell Brunson. It really does depend on your audience. And I mean, this is where you can get super nitty gritty with the targeting options. For example, you can say, I don't know, let's say that you were going for email marketers or copywriters. You could search for something like, let me see, for example, Frank Kern. You see, Frank Kern, business leader as an interest. Okay, that's an example. Essentially, you want to use detailed targeting options so that you can tell Meta who you want to show your ads to. Okay, so that would be the next step. Now, when it comes to designing your audience, unless you have more than 1,000 contacts in your email list already or more than 5,000 subscribers, I would start with cold traffic. You just want to make sure to decide your country where your ICP is in, the ages, gender, and gender if applicable. The real magic will come from the interest that you use for the campaign. So for any ad set, make sure to only use one interest, okay? And this is the key, guys. Don't have like 3 different interests in one ad set. It's much better if you have, for example, 3 or 5 different ad sets with one interest each, because that way you can, at the end of the campaign, be like, oh, this ad set by far trumped all of the other ones because it had this interest. Then on the next campaign that you launch, you can just triple down on the one that was performing. That way you can always maximize and squeeze as much use from your campaigns, okay? So that's really, really key. And if you want to use more than one, then create another ad set inside of the same campaign. Budget is set up at a campaign level, so don't worry about paying more on ads. Now, when it comes to designing your interest, simply make sure to grab the most niche down option that you can think of, okay? So for example, you're targeting coaches, Russell Brunson. You're targeting agencies, email marketing agency as an interest. If you're targeting e-commerce, maybe Shopify, okay? Then when it comes to placements, guys, this is really important. Make sure to use Advantage Plus placement. Again, my advice is to create this ad set and set up your ads. Once you're done with them, simply duplicate your ad set, but with a different interest. That's all you gotta change. And if your budget is 50 to 40 per day, I would use 2 ads, 2 interest, aka 2 ad sets. And if your budget is $50 per day, then I will use 3 ad sets to test and then double down on the winning one, okay? Now let's go to the ad creative and the ad copy. So when it comes to the ad creative, for these ads you can use, and as a matter of fact, you should use Twitter-like posts. Either an actual tweet or a screenshot from the Notes app or a simple text creative made on Canva would do the trick. Remember, what we want to do is DM ads or foundational sales letter distribution ads, like is letting words to do the selling for us and pick curiosity from our prospects, because that means that the foundational sales letter will do the selling, and that's what we will be delivering anyway, okay? So I'm giving this example of an actual ad that yielded 51K cash for you guys to see how simple it is, okay? And the reason why I leave this one is because everybody started copying it after I made some videos, so I will just as well just give it for free so you guys know what to do. If you don't have Twitter or you don't use Twitter, I made the following ad in less than 5 minutes, so you can see how simple this is, okay, guys? Again, the goal with the creative is to make people curious about what you're doing, or what you're going to do or say once they click on your ad. And there is no need to call out your audience in the actual ad creative. That's just what you can do that in the actual copy of the ad copywriting. Believe it or not, advertising platforms decide who to show your ad to, not only by your targeting and interest, but also by your copy, okay? That's why every ad that you launch, you want to dive deep into the actual keywords of your audience, okay? So here's the copywriting formula for DM ads. You're going to say ICP plus emojis. If you want desired outcome in time frame or after having done one cool thing, I just released a lead magnet sharing the step-by-step process I used to achieve a cool thing. DM me the keyword to learn more. So these are actual examples of ads that I've run. Agency owners, keep reading. I put together a 5-step action plan that will allow you to profit $50K per month using AI funnels that convert your leads on autopilot. For a limited time, you can get the same action plan to implement in your business, useful resources, SOPs, and trainings absolutely for free by clicking on this ad and sending me a message with the word 50K must be followed. And that way people just click on that and they send me the message, and now I have appointment setting conversations with them, okay? So that's essentially the process that I want you guys to use when it comes to DM ads and foundational sales letter distribution type of ads. You can always also try to run audience building ads, which you could do mostly from your cell phone, because it's mostly about boosting your post, because you're now having not an engagement objective but a traffic objective. That way you can just pay for followers essentially for a low cost. But that's something that I can talk about on a different video. I just wanted to make this more about the ads manager and how to set up. Alright guys, so hopefully this video was helpful. If you would like me to make a video on how to run the audience building ads, make sure to leave a comment and like the video and let me know. Go ahead and book a call with me or my team. Last thing, if this video was helpful, consider subscribing, and see you guys on the next one. Bye.